Yeah, you know what? Let's try this again, shall we? Because, well, I was not happy with the way that my previous attempt of recording this turned out, and after reviewing the video file, and, well, I did record a couple of segments before then, but I just decided, yeah, it wasn't worth it, so I wasn't thinking straight. I also had a lot on my plate, but I've now cleared those things off, so let's make a start. So, as I said before, we can choose between 5 of these cars. The one you can see rotating around now is the VW Golf GTI. We also get the Honda Civic, and this, by the way, is basically the sedan model, more or less. Not the other one. There's also the Peugeot 206, which I think looks pretty solid, and also has good handling. The Mazda MX-5 is our 4th car choice that we can start with, and the last one is the Dodge Neon. So, 2 of these cars we can buy for $8,500. The MX-5 we can buy for $9,500, and also the Honda Civic we can pay $10,000 for. So, judging by speed and handling, my best choice would probably be either the Dodge Neon or the Honda Civic. And well, because I want to get myself off to a better start than what I had before, initially I picked the Golf, but again, I discovered if I start off with the Golf, then I would be struggling a lot. So, I think just to make this a bit easier, I am going to start this game off with the Honda Civic. And if you don't like my car choice, then you can literally eat my ass.
Ouch, that is seriously weak, dude. Hey, loser. Alright, check it. Maybe I can help.
Just you and me, one-on-one. It's money in the bank. Let's go!
You want to be the best? You gotta take these boys down. If you lose, you're gone. Got it? Good. Now move it. Come here to find the latest races. The race map will show you where all the action is.
So I did make a couple of tweaks whilst I was here, and whilst I recreated my saved profile, I also turned autosave off because, well, I figured if I had autosave on, it would just be giving me a couple of problems that I personally don't need. So I chose the Honda Civic because, well, in terms of speed, it's technically the best car in terms of speed and handling aside from the Dodge Neon. So these are all of the settings that we get in our menu, so let's go through each of these whilst we're here, because why not?
Hey, what you think? You digging it? Then you gotta win. No racing cred, no cool parts. Come here to customize your ride and build the ultimate street racer.
So yeah, so we get that. So we get visual, which basically improves our bodywork. Performance, of course, well, that improves the overall stats from what the car already has. And we also get trade-in, which is basically for us to swap out our old car and then trade it in for a new car. And as you might have guessed, we're not going to be using the same ride all the way. Your cars... not yet. So we also get rankings.
If you want to be the best, you gotta climb to the top of these rankings ladders. Check these lists after each race to find out how you stack up against the other drivers.
So we basically get circuit races, sprint races, drag races, which I am personally not fond of, and we also get drift races as our 4 different types of races. Oh yeah, and there's also going to be a lot of tournaments in this game as well, just to add to the fact. So we also get stats, which basically shows our wins and losses as well as our overall percentage in terms of what races exactly we've managed to convert to wins and also which ones have been losses.
You want to track your performance? Then check out your stats. Keep tabs on your wins, losses, style points, and more.
So yeah, so we get starts, wins, and style points. Also get the same with all the others. Style points are, of course, important because they will improve our reputation. So we get total starts, total wins, total losses, an overall win percentage, also got a total mileage of how much we've driven, and we also get style points. And last but certainly not least, we get magazine covers, which of course we will be after throughout the game.
Getting your ride on the cover of a magazine is the ultimate props. Your car's gonna have to look good and drive fast. These magazines will put you on their cover if you prove yourself on the streets.
So yeah, just what Samantha said. Oh yeah, and by the way, the lead protagonist in this game, aside from the player, is technically called Samantha. And she basically gives us the rundown of everything that we need to know. And when it comes to magazine covers, then obviously, you know, we can basically check over which ones we have and which ones we don't. Although, I can guarantee I'm clearly not going to get all of these because, well, that would require super commitment and in some cases perfection, along with a couple of other things, but since I am not one of those super elite players when it comes to street racing games, as you might have guessed, I'm clearly not going to go for all of them. Because I just want to get on with the fun side. So I might as well save the game now, just because I've given you the rundown of each of these parts of the menu. Of course, the other things I haven't checked out yet. Well, I've got no money to spend on those parts yet, so I'm probably going to leave that until I've got some money on the board. But since I have a better car than the Golf GTI, maybe this will be easier. So let's see how we go. So, these are our 4 race types. So we get circuit races, sprint races, drift races, and drag races. And we also get lap knockouts as well, which is basically an elimination race. You know, stay out of last on every lap you complete, and then you'll progress onwards. And then the only car running at the end of the lap knockout will be the winner, basically. So let's begin with the circuit races. But before we do that, I'm just going to do one more thing because, well, I figure it's going to be worth it for me to try and get some decent thumbnail shots whilst I'm here. At least trying to make my car look like I'm getting it from all angles. I might also get some snapshots just whilst I'm here because those might be important. Sure, why not? Yeah, by the way, my recording software does actually have a snapshot option, so I can probably do my editing from there, but, well, anyways. Enough messing about, let's just get on with the races. As we begin with Jose's Got Your Back.
What's up, bro? I'm Jose. Sam told me I should keep an eye out for you. She said you plan on turning the streets upside down. Welcome to the streets, dog. Let's see if you can hang.
So yeah, so the first guy we get introduced to is called Jose. He basically introduces us to the circuit racing scene, and where the first track we're going to is called Olympic Square. Your first step towards earning some respect. Beat Jose and 2 others in 2 laps at Olympic Square. So we get 3 difficulties here, easy, normal or hard. Obviously the money will increase depending on which difficulty you choose, and well, because I need some money right away, I'm gonna begin this on a hard difficulty, and basically that's how we're gonna begin this game. Because I do need some money, and I need it fast. I'm also pretty sure these races will no doubt get harder and harder as we go along. Oh yeah, also the loading screen does actually give us tutorials on, well, gives us a brief little description on what it is we need. And not too bad so far. Jose, by the way, is the one in the Golf GTI, so I think I know precisely which car Jose is going to be in because he is the only one with the bodywork. Okay, so whatever did just happen on that previous attempt, it did not just happen. So I'm trying this over again because, well, I really don't want to come away from the first 4 races of the game with a loss. At least I don't want to start losing too soon. And well, because of a very poor mistake that I made in the sprint race, well, I decided that just wasn't worth it, so I decided to simply reload the game and basically try this again. And already, at the moment, things are going worse, even though I am getting some style points on the board nonetheless. Well, at least I can say it's not like one of those Top Gear still could be worse compilations or something. I think I'm just starting to know just how powerful that 206 really is now. But hopefully, if I can keep the mistakes to a minimum, I might be able to come back and win this. I did keep this thing in 5th gear for a reason, by the way, because I was really wanting to get the run off the corner. And now, just like that, I am back in the lead. So I'm leading once again here at Olympic Square after whatever it was that happened on the previous lap. It's not happened again. And I'm really increasing my style points on this run because I'm already up to under 800 of these bad boys. And I'm now up to under 1,000 of them. And now I'm over 1,000. Okay, just gotta hold on. Can I beat Nesto in the neon? Yes, I can. Okay. So I beat Nesto to the line by a second over Wart. Well, I beat Nesto to the line by a second flat, then it was Wart in 3rd in his 206, and Jose finished last in his rather slow VW Golf GTI. But that doesn't mean to say it's a bad car in any way, it's just that, well, it's more or less a beginner's car. I think that's the word I'm looking for. But anyways, showing this off because I can. Oh yeah, the style points gauge, that does also help us out. So, 625 credits added to our bank. And we also get stats to see just how the other racers did. And Nesto had the best overall lap time in the end of that. Over me. Okay, anyways, let's continue. And just like that, we've got 625 credits now in our bank. Let's now try and see if we can move this up. Last one there is a rotten egg. Hopefully I will be the fresh egg. Race through the downtown core. First one past the airport construction takes home the bank. The loading screen, by the way, does give us a lot of tips, if you're asking. It can also show us a couple of other things as well along the way, which I think is pretty neat. Well, anyways. Yeah, what have we got this time? Okay, so we've got another Golf GTI with another Neon and another 206. I'm the only one at the moment who is driving a Civic. I very nearly lost control of my car there, but able to regain it. I also know that it's imperative for me to make sure I don't run wide at the end of the run, because, well, what happened before was I was leading, but then because I went the long way round, I basically got my pants pulled down. And well, I decided, because I was not having it today, at least I didn't want to be on the losing end early. I figured it was at least a worthy time for me to reload the game and for me to see if I could make a correction to what happened before. This car at the moment is very loose. It just has a lot of understeer. And that's a wall. Although it doesn't matter because I'm past the most crucial part of the run. I don't think it's going to catch me unless I hit something at just the wrong time, but I don't think that's going to happen. And I still pull it off, in spite of my last minute errors. I guess those are to be expected. Anyways. And it was Jackie who drove the Neon, Rosie was third, and it was Bryce who finished last in the 206. Okay. Well, we're doing okay at the moment. I've at least managed to get some bank on the board. So yeah, those are your stats. 2 races down, and I think I'll save the game once I'm done with the drift race, because, well, the second to last race I have to do in this segment is going to be a drag race, and I'm really not looking forward to that. Anyways, it's all about style and finesse. And this is where we will be introduced to another guy who is called Dirt.
Whoa, kid, this is sick. Yet another convert to the drift scene. Let's see what kind of moves you got. They call me Dirt, and I like to get sideways.
I'd say that's pun intended. Wow, the crowd with speed and style. Put up big points to get mad props and big bank. I will, yo. I will make sure to get those mad skills on the board. Well, here we go. 4 laps around Drift Track 1. And yes, these tracks are... And yes, the drift tracks in this game are called solely by their numbers. Basically, the higher the number... Oh, fuck my ass. Hopefully I can claw this back. This should be pretty easy for me to pull off once I really get a rhythm going. And now I have an advantage, so just gotta make sure I hold on to that. Okay. Well, doing well at the moment. I've got over 25,000 points now. And can I hold on to this? Hopefully I can. Let's see what the final score is. And I do hold on. So I beat Carla to the line by over 9,000 points. Dirt finished third in his Nissan 240SX, and it was Carl who finished last in his MX-5. Believe it or not, the MX-5 is actually a pretty good drift car, but I was able to get enough of the mad skills, and now we've unlocked some tier 1 vinyls. Okay, well, I'm now just gonna head back to the main menu and save the game because, well, next up we've got a drag race, and I'm really not looking forward to the drag race because, well, there's just so many things that can basically go wrong in the blink of an eye. Even if you're dominating, you can just never count all those eggs until they're hatched. The perfect shift.
Sup, dog? Name's Derek, but my buds call me Clutch. I think I'll call you Tow Truck, cause that's what's gonna be hauling that heap to the dump after this race.
We'll see about that. And we're going to 14th and Vine reverse. 4 cars, 4 lanes. This is how drag races go down. Underground style. Show Clutch. You got skills. So yeah, so we've been introduced to Jose, Dirt, and now we've been introduced to Clutch, who I'd imagine is going to be another one of those characters that'll be with us in the game early on until we beat him in a drag race and get our name on the ranking ladder. Well, let's see how we go. Hopefully this shouldn't be too hard. I'm also going to get myself a slipstream whilst I'm here. And just like that, I draft my way up into the lead. And I'm also going to move myself straight to the right hand side. And it looks as though I am pulling away, so I do have the superior speed. In spite of me getting a slow start, I did manage to get the speed up once I got in the slipstream, and just like that, I've drafted my way to victory. So it was Carl who finished second, Clutch in his Dodge Neon finished third, and it was Daryl who finished last in the GTI. So glad I chose a good car for this. It may have been an expensive car, but at least I chose a good car. Hey, we've unlocked the Mitsubishi Lancer now. Cool. Okay. So these are the stats. And I clearly had the highest top speed of everyone else, and only 40% on the perfect shifts. Well, at least I can say nobody else got perfect shifts aside from Carl. Well, anyway. Let's move on. So, 4 races down and still 1 to go. Let's now head out to our final race of the introduction races, if you will. Basically, being our introduction to the underground scene. Last place is a bad place to be. The pressure's on. Last man standing wins this lap knockout around Olympic Square. And we are heading around the reverse variant of Olympic Square. So that basically tells you how the lap knockout works. Basically the same as what it was in Hot Pursuit 2 with the lap knockouts. Basically, stay out of last, you progress on to the next lap, And basically, the last car standing wins. That's pretty much the TLDR description of what a lap knockout is in this game. Basically the same as what it was in Hot Pursuit 2. Except for saying, of course, that we're basically driving on the streets. We can also get some style points if we are able to miss the traffic. There will also be traffic that comes through that crossroad, so if you're going to use that shortcut, you need to use it wisely, and you also need to use it carefully because, well, that shortcut can give you benefits, but it can also give you a lot of pain if the traffic shows up on the crossroads section at just the wrong time. So you've really got to make sure you hit your stride when you're using that shortcut, because if you don't, then well, it could be just as likely to cost you as it would be to benefit you. In other words, it can give you betterment, but it can also give you worsenment. And already one of us has now been knocked out. So basically, if you're last at the end of the lap, then you're basically eliminated. Or knocked out, as the game says there. Wonder who it was that got knocked out. Is the game going to tell me? Oh, and the GTI just wrecked himself. Oh, it was Priss. Priss was the one who got knocked out. Wasn't he or she in the Lancia? Well, I'm racing Rosie. Oh, he was. Okay. So I am racing Rosie. I've now got a pretty sizable advantage over that GTI, and Wart is currently running third. So whichever one of those two gets to the line first will pretty much be able to progress onto the last lap, whereas the other one will not. But at the moment, I wonder who it is. It was probably Wart who got eliminated. Yeah, it was Wart. Okay. So it's just myself and Rosie left over. And since I know Rosie is quite a distance behind me, as long as I don't screw this up, then this race will pretty much be mine. Plus I also know that when the GTI wrecks, it becomes very hard for that car to get back up to speed. And I'm up to over 2,500 style points. Not bad. Not too bad. And that's a fence. But it's fine. She's not going to get to me. There's nothing in between me and the finish line. And there we go. Had to reload the game once, following that initial error I made in the sprint race, but I managed to do everything correctly. So Rosie was second, Wart third, and it was Priss who finished last. And I think we're now up to over 2,500 in our bank, if I'm not mistaken. So these are the stats. Everyone completed the lap except for Priss, who was knocked out early, and Rosie had the highest top speed of 128 miles an hour, whereas I had the highest average speed of basically 101. So, there we go. The first 5 races are done, and I now have over 3,000 credits in my bank. And basically what that means now is I'm going to save the game. because I've done the first 5 races, and also because I know things will be easier this way, basically. So these are my stats. 5 starts and 5 wins, but of course I know that's not going to last, and driven for a total of 14.74 miles at this time, and I've got over 11,000 style points from those first 5 races. Okay, anyways. 5 races are down, and we still have many more to go. And with that, stay tuned for more of Need for Speed Underground.
Keep it coming.